tuned in to the one and only show, bringing you entertainment stories shaken, stirred, with a little sass and a twist of lime. It's Northwest Nightcap with K-Cee Deeva, y'all. Don't miss it.
Okay, so this what happens when you haven't I done this in quite some time. In case you're wondering why we're a little bit late, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. I didn't hit the live button. We had a whole conversation and rehearsal without you guys, but that's okay. You're here now. Welcome. I'm K-Cee Deeva. This is Northwest Nightcap with K-Cee Deeva, and we're live, guys. I promise. We're live now.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'm 100%. See, this is why I need a producer, damn it. This is why.
It says live right up there.
So we're live. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, everybody. It's your first time. Welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. And it's so good to be here. It's always a fun time. Oh, did I hear some theme music?
What was that one?
Always some shenanigans on here. I promise you. All right. I'm going to do some quick introductions and we're going to jump right back in and have the conversation. All right. You got the fanfare ready, bro?
I got you. I'm ready.
Okay. Now, I'm going to introduce ladies first. The lovely, the talented, the very beautiful Miss Princess Ramen. Welcome, Princess. Welcome, Princess. I feel like I need to bow or something. Welcome. Good to see you. As always, Princess is the hostess of Traveler's Guide to Venus and Mars. You can catch it on all major platforms, Spotify, Apple, and all the stuff, all the platforms. There's so many. I can't even name them.
Me either, right?
I get them all, but you know what platforms you watch or listen to. You'll find it on there.
Yes.
All right. And next to her, bottom row, Mr. Kurt K-Cee Clayton, who, by the way, is the beautiful Princess Ramen hubby.
Yes.
Sorry, fellas, she's taken, and it's right there. K-Cee is also the musical director for the legendary R&B group Confunction. We love it when they come to the Northwest.
Hey.
All right,
Yeah. Okay. And last but certainly not least, the very debonair, my good friend, Mr. Anthony Adams.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Let me redo that. My good friend, the most important man in the world, Mr. Anthony Adams.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here and good to see you all. And hope you're all having a good new year.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for the TV show. I'm getting ready with the house band thing,
Yes. It's good
All
to see
right. Okay, we're behind schedule, so let's just jump right in. So as we kind of rehearsed, we talked about Cat Williams. And unless you've been living under a rock the last year or the last few months, about a month ago on Club Shay Shay, hosted by Shannon Sharp. And it's on YouTube, I think. Yeah, he's on YouTube, and probably gonna be a lot of other places real soon because he had Cat Williams on, comedian Cat Williams, very funny guy, but also very real. And when I say shots fired, I mean this brother emptied several clips on a lot of black comedians that he just doesn't like, and that have done him dirty over time. So he went on to Club Shay Shay, and as bro reminded me earlier, because some other comedians, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, had been on Club Shay Shay and claim, certain rights to certain things that they have done and so forth. And Cat Williams called BS. Cat Williams was like, no, I need to come on the show and set the record straight. And, he said a lot. Jokes were stolen. His jokes were stolen and done by some of these folks. And who did he mention? Ricky Smiley, Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey. Who?
Faison Love.
Faison Love. The list with Ludacris, which surprised me because that just came out of nowhere. He's not a comedian, but Ludacris, allegedly, he and Cat Williams were up for the role in Fast and Furious. Remember Ludacris, got that role and everything. So Yes, he went on and cleared the air on a whole bunch, and even had Shannon speechless, which is rare. All right, so bro, let's start with you, and let's hear your thoughts on what do you think? What do you think about Cat Williams, and did he go too far? And oh, by the way, Dave Chappelle recently on Friday at a show at Hollywood Improv this past week, he said that he felt, come on, Cat, why are we, bashing other Black comedians? Why do we do that in our community? And I know there's quite a few folks that felt that way in Hollywood. What are your thoughts, bro? Did he go too far?
No, I don't think he went too far. I think he was just speaking his truth based upon what was put out there by others on the same platform. And his thing, and he said that when he got there, I'm here to shed light on some things that were said on this very couch that were not true. There were certain things that Steve Harvey said here that was not true. There were certain things that Ricky Smiley said here that was not true. There were certain things that Daniel said that was here that was not true. And so for him, his thing was, I'm only just answering the question, and I'm coming here to just clear the air about certain things, so that way there's not this narrative, this false narrative that's out there. And once again, for me, his thing was, obviously he had receipts, because anything that he said, nobody said that he was a liar.
No, one word.
They may have said he's wrong for this. Never said he lied.
Right.
So I have a question, because we didn't talk about this in the rehearsal. Did they? So the people that talked about that he was, like saying they lied about this on this couch, were they just like telling a false narrative about themselves, or did they come out and say things about him that he said were false?
They were saying false narratives.
Yeah.
About, but
if anything, yeah.
Yeah, because Ricky Smiley kept saying that he was supposed to be the pimp in Friday. Right? And Cat Smiley was like, the Cat Williams was like, no. First of all, several people auditioned for the role. Right? And he wasn't good enough to do the role. And on top of that, when he came in and did it, Cat Williams and Ice Cube confirmed it. Cat came in, and not only did he get the role, but he wrote his own parts.
His own part, yep.
So he gets writer's credits for the film.
Nice.
Right? So it's like, so Ricky was like, no, I was supposed to be this, not, and he's like, no, you wasn't. He's like, you auditioned like everybody else. You were not good enough to get the role. So quit acting as if somebody stole something from you, because they didn't. You auditioned like 200 other people. I came in and I did what I was supposed to do, and I as a comedian, and I got the part. Simple as that.
Yeah, and what he also said was Cedric the Entertainer stole like one of his jokes. He had this joke that he pretend like to be in a car, and
it's seen on Comic View. You can see it on Comic View.
Yeah, look at
2 years before he did it, and Cedric basically spruced it up, and then he used it for the comedy tour.
King of the Comedy, yep. And Cat wasn't a part of that, And he also talked about how cliquish, right? He said there's a clique, there's the same group of people that all kind of look out for each other with jobs and opportunities and things of that nature. So, Princess, my question for you is, as we talked about in rehearsal, unplanned rehearsal.
Now remember what I told you in rehearsal.
Yes. Right. No. I'm just because this could be for any scenario, right? Do you think it's an admission of guilt for the folks that didn't say anything at all? There were a couple, like Ludacris came out with kind of a okay sort of rap rhyme with some bars, kind of shooting back or whatever. I wasn't impressed. And Faison Love came back with some rambling post or whatever. But other than that, the big players said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer. So, what are your thoughts on that? Is it? Do you think someone's guilty if they say nothing?
I mean, I don't know that silence is always an admission of guilt. I think at some point, you know, like we've all been in situations where somebody said something and we're like, I'm not even going to respond to that. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to show that got to me or let them think they got to me with that. So I don't think necessarily, although as we also said in rehearsal, there are some, you know, like there are some receipts out there that anybody can go check and the fact checking can happen. So I don't think, you know, I don't think that we should assume just because people haven't said anything it's not true. But in fact checking, we can find out.
Yeah, right. All right. Anthony.
Yes.
Thoughts?
My take on it is this. There's three sides to every story.
Well, I'm sorry, Anthony. Hold on before you go into too far. So I asked Princess about the admission of guilt part. I want to hear that from you as well. But I also am curious what your thoughts are on. Do you think? Because there's a lot of folks that said, "Oh, he sounded like a hater." Like, was he just telling his truth, or did he come across like there was a little bit of hateration going on because, you know, Steve Harvey, because he kind of mentioned how he's got the talk show and the this and the that, and you know.
I think it's a little bit of that. I do think it is truth. Like I was saying, there's one side, there's the other, and then there's the actual truth. Now we've heard Kat's side, we've heard some of the other comedians' sides. Now we're just waiting for what is the truth. As far as the hateration thing, I mean, Kat's kind of known for feuding with other comedians. And the thing about it is, and you and I actually talked about this a few days ago, it's always Black comedians that are always in this crabs in a barrel mentality where they can't, instead of them congratulating each other on each other's success, they have to talk bad about each other. They have to tear the other comedian down. You know, he tore down Kevin Hart. He called him a plant and everything. And he's not and here's the thing, he's not the first person to call Kevin Hart a plant. There's been a few comedians that do this.
But explain that a little bit, Anthony. I know you keep up with that kind of stuff. Why though? Why Kevin Hart? I didn't understand it then. I still don't understand why.
Well, I think what it is, and I'm glad you asked that because I thought about this. With Kevin Hart, it seems like he became this overnight success. You know, he's in all these big blockbuster movies with The Rock, and you know, he's got his own talk show on Peacock and everything, and you know, he's headlined successful stand-up tours. What it is with Kevin is we don't see the grind anymore. You can say what you want about Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac, D.L. Hughley, and Cedric, but the one thing you cannot say about them is you didn't see them grind. We saw them on Def Comedy Jam. We saw them on Comic View. We remember their 1 hour specials on HBO, and sadly, we don't see that anymore. People forget Steve Harvey had a canceled sitcom called Me and the Boys before he had the Steve Harvey show.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Bernie Mac.
I know Steve Harvey show, but I didn't know that. Yeah.
I remember that show.
I don't even remember it.
No, it made a few episodes, but no. Bernie Mac was on guest starred on Moesha a few times, but we saw.
I do remember that. Yeah.
But sadly, we don't. And you know, D.L. Hughley had his show. The thing about it is we don't see the grind. There is no more Def Comedy Jam, no more Comic View, no more Fast Comic Standing. Comedy Central used to have this thing called the half-hour special that would highlight up-and-coming comedians. So you can't say, so now it's easy because we don't see the grind anymore. It's easy to say, oh, Kevin Hart, he's a plant. Tiffany Haddish, she's a plant. You know, it's like the industry picked them. It's like, no, they grind it too. You just don't see the grind anymore. You know, Cat Williams, we saw Cat Williams grind. We saw him on Wildin' Out. We saw him in Friday After Next. You know, we saw him in all these other movies and everything. So I think with Black comedians, it's always this crabs in a barrel mentality. You know, it's and actually Ari Spears said something really interesting. He said, Yeah, Cat Williams got a lot of views off that interview, but look at what it cost. Comedians are now beefing with each other, and now not only that, you've got comics that are being heavily scrutinized, and all of their work is now under this microscope because now everyone's going to be checking to see, hey, that joke sounds like this joke. You stole it from that person. When in truth, it's like we have a similar upbringing, so we can relate.
Yeah, but there's an unwritten rule in that you don't steal each other's material, and that goes across the board.
Well, let me say this real quick. TK Kirkland actually talked about that. He said Cat Williams stole my whole "Who raised you?" tagline, and somebody online said that was never your tagline. People have been saying that for years.
Yeah. Okay, but I don't even know who TK Kirkland is, so clearly he's not relevant.
Yeah. But it's just that there's an unwritten rule that and this happened years ago. Mark Curry, who was mentioned in this.
Oh, Mark Curry. Yes, Mark Curry. Yes.
Yeah. Mark Curry has said for years that Steve Harvey stole a lot of his material. Steve Harvey would be at his shows, and Steve Harvey would, he was notorious for stealing people's material. And then on top of that, Steve Harvey's entire facade was birthed off of Mark Curry, because Mark Curry had hanging out with Mr. Cooper.
You'll love that show. Yeah. Right? Holly Robinson Pete was on there. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And what was he? He was the principal.
He was the principal. Yep.
Right. He was the principal. He was the basketball. And then all of a sudden, Steve Harvey has a Steve Harvey show. He's a music teacher. He's also the it's like the entire script was based upon what Mark Curry had already done. On top of that, Mark Curry has said in many interviews that he and Steve Harvey are not friends. If he see him on the street, he will bust him up because he stole a lot of his stuff, and at the same time, he acts like he didn't do anything, and he knows he's dirt. So that's the issue.
Well, there's actually footage of him confronting Steve Harvey.
Yes.
Yeah, it was it's a Def Comedy Jam special. It was like an anniversary for Def Comedy Jam. And it's at the end. Russell Wilson is thanking everybody for coming out, and all the comedians that were there were on stage. If you look in the background, you see Mark Curry like whispering Steve Harvey's ear. Like, you can tell he's trash. He's getting in him.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure this saga is there's more to come. I can't wait to see what else happens. And you know what though? Aside from all that, Cat seems like a cool dude. Like he was talking about all the money that he's helped out up and coming comics that were living out of their car, or thousands of dollars, just to help them, get let them stay at his house or whatever. What was the the Hollywood star, Melba Moore? Melba Moore. Yeah, Melba Moore. Yeah, because I didn't know that.
With the Hollywood star, you have to pay $75,000.
I did not know that.
Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and Melba Moore had been on the ballot for years. He's like, what? And basically his name came up. That hey, you're being honored with a Hollywood star, and he looked at the list of people that he's like, well, hold on, she's an icon in our community. Why, so you mean to tell me she can't get a star because she can't afford it? So he was the sole benefactor rather, for her star. He paid $75,000, and here's the thing: he did not want anyone to know that he did it.
That's what makes it so amazing.
But it leaked. But he see a lot of stuff that he did, to a lot of young comedians. Cat Williams is like Prince. Prince did a whole lot of philanthropy.
They were friends. Didn't you say they were friends?
Well, yeah. But what I'm saying, Prince did a lot of things behind the scenes for HBCUs and all, and a lot of stuff for different people and different families that he did not want people to know, because his thing was, I'm doing it for the right reason. I'm not doing it for clicks and likes, and I'm just doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Michael Jackson did too.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I have a feeling it's not the last we heard of Cat. I just hope they don't. I hope he doesn't get blackballed though. That was my only concern. Is
he can't.
I will say, Cat.
What,
I don't love stand-up comedy, but Cat instantly makes me laugh.
He's hilarious.
Well, see, here's the thing. He can't get blackballed because his thing is, you can't blackball me because I own all of my own content.
Oh, that's true.
So he owes nobody anything. His 9 specials that's on Netflix, he owns those. He paid for
smart man.
So that's why he's like, I don't do, and even then he was dropping knowledge about the business. He's like, I own all my own content. I pay for everything myself, and I struck my own deals. Netflix didn't give him anything. He shot it himself, and then he said, okay, now what do you want to give me for this? But even after it airs, if you look at it, it says it's produced and everything by Cat Williams. He's the only one that has 9 specials, and he's struck in a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix for every special.
Well, I like Cat a lot. I don't want to see him go anywhere, so I hope they leave him alone and let him do his thing. And I can't wait to hear from. There's gonna be more gossip, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for the book. He needs to go ahead and write a book and just spill it all.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's move on. So let's talk Super Bowl, because it's Super Bowl 58. Is that next weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same as me.
Yeah, 58, and Usher, because that's the only thing I care about. I could care less about the game. Usher is performing at halftime. I love it. I love Usher.
Yes.
What do you guys think about that?
I'm here for it.
Usher, do you think he'll do a good show?
Absolutely.
That's why they got him.
Well, now wait a minute, bro. Not everybody's been good up there.
No, but
there's been some misses.
No, there's been some misses, but you got to understand, Jay-Z is responsible for booking all the talent now for.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yes.
So that's why you had Dr. Dre. And, so Jay-Z he's amped up, the entertainment value of the halftime. You notice now it's not even sponsored by Pepsi anymore.
Nope.
It's sponsored by Apple Music.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I hadn't noticed, but I just remember Pepsi doing it for years. Okay, I'm just looking at this list here. I just want to highlight some. Huh?
Pepsi pulled out.
Why? Why?
Because at one point, there were certain acts that Pepsi wanted, and those acts, they were not great for her, for the Super Bowl, and so the ratings.
Okay.
And Pepsi was putting so much money in advertising and marketing and promotion, and they return on it, so they pulled out. So that's how Jay-Z actually got in, because Pepsi pulled out. So
I didn't know that.
It was my Rolodex.
Yeah.
Oh well, hey, good job, Jay-Z.
Nobody.
No, who? I'm curious. So, I want to go down this list and just highlight some of the good folks who've been on. But favorites. Who are your favorites? Anthony, who is your favorite? Who are some of your favorites?
Hands down, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. A lot of people don't know this, but if you look at the halftime shows before Michael, they were really boring. I think the previous year was Disney on Ice.
Yes.
They had no famous people. Michael set the standard for what a halftime
show. Yeah, that bar went way up.
Yeah. I would say right behind him would be Bruno Mars. I thought Bruno did his thing.
Yes.
First time.
I was going to say Bruno.
The first time, not when he came back with Beyonce.
Okay, yeah, I didn't like the Beyonce Bruno thing, but the first time, okay.
Yeah, he killed.
What was Bro saying? 3?
Bruno's number 3.
Oh, he number 3. Yeah. Okay. So Michael Jackson, Bruno. Who for you? Who's number 1?
Michael, the number 1. Number 2, Prince playing Purple Rain in the rain.
Yes, that was
you know
that
what?
was amazing.
I'm a Prince fan, and I gotta say, and maybe because I've been to the Prince concert, I didn't love watching the Super Bowl performance. It kind of was a little.
But that's an iconic because all that day they were hoping that it would not rain and spoil the halftime situation. But to see Prince play Purple Rain in the rain, and it actually started raining as soon as he started singing Purple Rain.
That's crazy.
And it strikes me as one of your like romantic.
As soon as he finished, it stopped raining.
I remember people talking about that for days. Prince was bomb, but you know who else? I mean, I gotta say, Janet Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Even though she had nipplegate with Justin Timberlake, that was a bomb performance.
It was.
That was a bomb performance.
Although the icon, but Whitney Houston singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Yes, absolutely.
That version of the Star Spangled Banner was so huge they had to release it as a single.
Yes.
Really? They released? I didn't know they released a single.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so some of these other folks they've had, and Anthony's right. I'm way down. They put a whole list. I'm way down, like in 80, 79. They've got Super Bowl, the Carnival. They did a Mardi Gras, Salute to 60s and the Motowns.
I remember that.
A children's dream. I mean, these boring themes, and then you shoot up and there's this picture of Michael Jackson. I mean, iconic moment, right? Where he pops up. They call it the Pop-Tart. He pops up, and the man just stands there for a good. It was like almost 10 minutes, and people were just going crazy. That was iconic. Like,
If you remember, right before that, he popped out of the jumbotrons.
I forgot about the jumbotrons. Yes, he sure did. That remember it wasn't even. Remember he had lookalikes, and they all popped up, and then he came. That was amazing. I can see it like it was yesterday.
So something really cool about that, you can go online there because there's a behind the scenes of that. You can actually hear the director yelling. He's like, "Come on, Michael! Come on, Michael!" He's like, Michael can't hear him, but he's like, "Come on, Michael!" Because he said, every second it feels like an eternity because you only have 13 minutes. He's screaming. It's like to start.
Can you imagine being part of that production team? Oh my goodness, you'd be like popping Pepto-Bismol and.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see who else real quick. Paul McCartney, boring. Shania Twain, no doubt.
No.
Only thing I like from Paul McCartney is "Say" with Michael Jackson.
Well, I'm a Beatles fan.
The Rolling Stones, I remember that performance. Mick Jagger, the Who, Black Eyed Peas. I forgot I like Black Eyed Peas. They were bomb. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Bruce Springsteen. I love me some Bruce Springsteen. Maroon 5, Lady Gaga. Yeah, Beyonce, Katy Perry. Boring. Rihanna. What'd you think of Rihanna last year?
Yeah, Rihanna was cool.
That's how I felt about it. It was cool. I wasn't blown away by it. But
here's the thing: she was cool, but she was also pregnant.
Yeah,
she was. I mean, people, they were like, "Oh, she couldn't be backing it up and everything." With
if she was cool but pregnant.
No, what I'm saying.
What does that mean?
No.
Like, let's give her extra credit because she was also pregnant.
No. What I mean by that is people was expecting her for her regular high energy show.
Right.
She couldn't do a lot of things that they were expecting because she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, because see, I would argue the opposite. I thought her show was really flashy, flashy, and it's of no consequence to me that she was pregnant or not.
Yeah.
The shows that get me are the flashy ones. Either you wow me with some.
Some sizzle and sparkle. Yeah.
Like choreography and, like songs or whatever, or you get the flash. But
I'm going to tell you who was very disappointing to me.
Who?
Robin's favorite artist, The Weeknd.
Oh, yes.
That's Anthony's favorite artist.
Yeah.
It was lame. I'm sorry. I love him. I love him.
He was better than I expected him to be.
but it was
Yeah.
not. It
Plus,
was
I liked old Weekend. I liked the Weekend that came out with this. I like Sappy Songs Weekend. I don't like this new going back to the 70s or 80s, whatever he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't like the new. Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
feeling it.
I'll be completely honest. I barely, as many of these as I've watched, I barely remember any of them, including Michael right now. You know, like I do kind of remember the Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
The Pop-Tart.
Like, what year? What year?
That was 90.
93.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're only as good as you know, like
Miami, right?
somebody else is gonna come up.
Yeah, that was the Miami one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Miami, 93. Yeah, yeah.
Dangerous era. That was dangerous era, Michael.
Yeah, but Bruno Mars is gonna be incredible no matter what he does. So
yeah, I do like Bruno Mars. I don't know. I don't know why. And I like Beyonce. I just didn't like that. Not that I didn't like it. I just wasn't wowed by that whole performance. It was like,
I did like that, and I respected it because it was showing two of the newer iconic, artists, both people of color. They had, and they were kind of going at each other. You know, it was,
they kind of did that, and then they
Bruno
came.
had his crew, Beyonce had her crew, and they, and that was really, really good though. That was really good.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. Both of them were there to save Coldplay because nobody wanted to see Coldplay.
Thank you.
Nobody wants to see Coldplay.
I like Coldplay. Listen, I love Coldplay, but not halftime of the Super Bowl. No.
Princess, what did you say?
I said we can all agree that one was pretty bad. I don't know.
We can agree on that one.
Which one is the best?
And I like Coldplay too.
But that goes back, and I have to just call it what it is. Black artists always have to come in and save the situation, because for years they were putting country acts up there, they was putting these old rock and roll acts up there, because that's what the sponsors, Pepsi, that's what they know. That's
it was safe and it was very white bread.
People are like, okay, we got 25 minutes. Let's change the channel.
Yeah. And then come back. I also like J-Lo and Shakira. Because I love Shakira. No, bro, you didn't like them?
I like Shakira.
Yeah.
I think, and there was so much talk behind that, because number one, Shakira had no problem with it. J-Lo did not want to share the stage with Shakira.
I'm not surprised. I heard she's a major diva, like a real diva.
She wanted to share the stage, and she thought she was big enough, not understanding. You're good. I mean, you have an audience, but Shakira has had an international audience way before you, baby girl.
Wow.
Exactly.
And Shakira was bringing in the international crowd.
Right. Super Bowl. And I'm sorry, J-Lo, you had your moment. Like, I was all about, I loved her first album and all that, but you're not Jenny from the block anymore. You're mommy from the block with 2 kids, and
I'm laughing because remember when every show we used to have something to say about J-Lo?
and Ben looks
He's back.
Ben looks so unhappy right now. I'm sorry. It's just like
that man is frowning, and everybody talking about that. Like, every picture, he is never smiling.
but then again, I was gonna say, but then again, when they were together the first time, he was never smiling.
And they broke up.
But they're married now.
Always smiling.
They got married. Well, you know what? I think J-Lo I think she wanted to have kids. I don't even think she was really in love with Mark Anthony. I think she got her kids, then she realized, I'm not done with my career. I'm going to get back into singing. And I think she never was over Ben. I think, they're back together. So
I think a lot of things that, J-Lo does are political moves.
I agree.
It's like
did you hear Tommy Davidson talk about how rude she is to him?
And and that's real talk. And a good friend of mine is her drummer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's from Memphis, Charles Streeter. Shout out to Charles Streeter.
Shout out, Charles.
Yeah, but
Every
Come
band
on.
you have ever seen, someone from Memphis was in that band.
yeah,
I promise
I
you.
love it.
I
but
promise you.
yeah, because they like, you know,
Mhm.
she kind of don't acknowledge people that helped her reach where she is, and they wish
That's
nothing but
terrible.
well for her, you know.
Mm.
But she's known. I mean, and there's a great YouTube go on YouTube. She
Mm.
is known for, you know, she doesn't sing all of her songs.
Mm.
Other people have sung, you know, her vocals for her.
And
And
What
we
do they call them? Ghost singers? Like ghost
yeah,
writers or ghost singers?
ghost writers and ghost singers, you know,
we thank
Wow.
and it's been known, and it's been proven
Princess.
time again
Shout
that she,
out to the ghost singers.
yeah,
Right. Because
Because when she played Selena, I think she forgot.
oh,
She
that
was
was
lip
that
syncing.
was a good
She
movie.
was so amazing in that
That was
movie.
a good movie.
And like, I'm gonna just turn my microphone on, and it was like, you're dead.
yeah.
You're
But
dead.
yeah, and she's been known for stealing songs from different artists. So,
I was just really disgusted with her when I saw Tommy Davidson talking about how rude she was. Not once, but twice.
yeah,
You
twice.
know, and he said when they were on Living Color, he said he always knew she was going to be a star. He said, I knew she was going to, be something big. He said, but, he was kind of hurt by it. He said, I never dreamed. I mean, she dissed him like twice,
Yeah.
and he's like, he said after the first time he didn't want to say anything. And somebody he was with kept saying, no, man, go ahead. She'll be glad to see you, blah, blah. So he's like, whatever. So same thing, same reaction. She
Yeah.
just kind of, and he's like, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
So
But
that's too bad.
that's Hollywood.
Yeah, that's too bad. Okay, last but let's go ahead and jump on this real fast. So there's this feud with Nicki Minaj and Meg The Stallion. I don't really pay much attention to Meg The Stallion, but it's been all over the entertainment blogs and whatever. So I guess she came out with a song called Hiss, and she made a reference to what's it called? Megan's Law. It was a little girl that I believe she was kidnapped and killed. I can't remember the full story, but her parents came out with a law, to try to get these weirdos and people hurt sex offenders, to get them more time and whatnot. So Megan, she said something about Megan's Law, and it was interpreted. Now I'm not really clear if that's really what she meant, because she hasn't said that's what I meant. It was interpreted that she was making a reference to Nicki Minaj's husband or boyfriend or baby daddy. I'm not quite sure, because he's supposedly is a sex offender, and they have a kid together. So Nicki Minaj was like, "Oh no, you don't," and she came back with some kind of diss track that was, and I haven't heard it yet, but it was whack.
She came back with a diss whack.
A diss whack called Bigfoot, and kind of making some claims about, was it because she got shot in the foot or whatever?
Yeah, so the song is called Bigfoot. So real quick, just to what happened is this feud goes back a little bit further than the song Hiss. What it was is Hiss is actually a response to Nicki Minaj, because on Nicki's latest album, she made a song. There's a line on there where she references Tory Lane. She says something about, well, stay in your Tory lanes or whatever. And
really?
Yeah. And so a lot of people, the history between Megan and Tory Lanez and and so, and it's crazy because at one point, Nicki and Megan, we all thought were friends. They had a song called Hot Girl Summer, and all of a sudden then Nicki
that was Meg's first big hit, right? Wasn't the Hot Girl Summer thing?
Yeah, that was her first big hit. And then Nicki all of a sudden then switched up, put out that line. So Megan understandably got offended, put out the song Hiss. And yes, Nicki Minaj's husband is, from what I understand, he was accused of that crime. And so Nicki Minaj then tried to put out a diss record called Bigfoot, which did not hit. Yeah, so
that's interesting, because in this article
he's a registered sex offender. He's on the registry now.
Oh, he's registered and okay, I got it.
And Anthony,
go ahead.
To go back even further, Nicki had that record out, but she really put that record out because Nicki got mad at Megan because although Megan and Nicki were friends, and they actually did, they did their song together. But then shortly after that, if you recall, Megan and Cardi B came back out with WAP,
which was a way better song in my
which was a way better song, and it got more. And Nicki and Cardi are not cool. So basically, Nicki got ticked off at Megan because, okay, so how you gonna go back and do a record with her?
Okay.
And on top of that, not only did she do a record with her, but that record, just smashed the internet and all kind of stuff. So basically, that's when she started hating on Nick, and that's when she started hating on Megan, because all of a sudden you basically did a record with my enemy. So that's when she came out with her song, talking about stay in your Tory lanes and all that kind of, and once again, her thing is, okay, so now you're taking a poke at, and a lot of people kind of gave her flack on it. Like, so now you're taking a poke at a woman that's been abused, because that's her trauma,
right?
And that's something that that happened to her, and you're making fun of it. You're thinking that it's cute. So that's when she's like, okay, I'm gonna find. So if you want to go there and start making, so now I got receipts. I'm gonna put your stuff out there. And I think it's her brother and her husband that are sex offenders.
Yeah,
both of them. Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not really a Nicki fan. Now, I liked her Pink Friday. I like that album. I just don't like her attitude.
Yes.
It seemed like she gets in beef with and one of these articles named like all the people she's gotten into beef with. Miley Cyrus, I think, or something. She made some off the wall comment in some award show. I mean, it just seems like she's always got the nastiest attitude and just this kind of hater vibe. It's like, Nicki, you can't be cool.
She's threatened.
She's highly insecure.
Yeah, she's threatened because Megan is basically the new quote unquote queen of hip hop.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Nicki is threatened by that whole
anybody.
Situation. And on top of that, Nicki has never supported any other female hip hop.
She never has.
Yeah.
No.
To go back to our earlier point, Megan's sitting back like, I'm gonna let her dig her own grave, right?
Right. Yeah.
Megan's like, say what you want to say.
Exactly. And you see, like I said, the people have just been slamming this song because they're like, it's complete trash, So, wow. Well,
then she went on like a long rant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, she did on her podcast. She sure did.
Working herself up into a tizzy, and Megan sitting back like,
right.
None.
Megan like, I'm just gonna sip my tea.
I'm not gone.
Well,
but that's interesting. I didn't know there was more, because this article just talks about this whole his situation. I didn't realize that this kind of stemmed from other songs and what have you.
It stems from the beef that Nicki has. Technically, she has with Cardi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what's interesting is I watched this old Vlad TV clip with Remy Ma, Rod Digga, and she had put out, because he asked her, he said, you put out a tweet that said there's a certain woman in rap that doesn't support other women in rap. And she's like, yeah, I was talking about Nicki. And Vlad goes, I've always noticed that Nicki is a sore winner. Like anytime she wins an award, it's great. But anytime it's somebody else, then she has a problem with
it. Sour grapes. Yeah.
Sour grapes. Go back to the whole Travis Scott album thing. She puts out an album that debuts at number 2. Travis Scott album outsells her. She, instead of her congratulating him, she literally screamed conspiracy.
Yeah.
She literally did that.
At the award show?
Well, no, what happened was her album, what happened was Travis's album had been out for about 2 weeks. It had been number 1 for about 3 or 4 weeks. She put out her album. It debuted at number 2. Travis's album was still number 1. And then she went on this big rant talking about how, he doesn't have the number 1 album because he used bundles to sell his merch and everything. And then everybody came back receipts and was like, wait a minute, you sold your last album with a bundle. So yeah.
So there's that.
She's a sore winner.
She's a sore winner, and just
Just
but that's once again, that's the bitterness of the industry, and there's enough out here for everyone to eat, but sometimes we are our own worst enemies in those situations. So
yeah, I remember I saw when she first kind of got famous, they did a behind the scenes. She was doing some performance, and just the way she was treating her crew, like her hairstylist, her stylist, the little errand person that was bringing her snacks and whatnot. I mean, she was just so rude and nasty, and I was just like, that's disappointing because I actually kind of liked you, but
well, that's what I'm saying.
well.
She's upset that all the endorsements that Megan is finally getting, she felt that, because now Megan, she has her own fitness clothing line. She's got she's kind of like the spokesperson now for like Planet Fitness.
I saw that, yeah.
She's got like Doritos. She's got all these major sponsors endorsements.
Yeah,
right? And Nicki never had that type of cachet with the corporate world.
Right.
Which she felt that so once again, that goes back to, she feels that Megan is taking her shine because she's supposed to be, on top 20, for the rest of her life. But
it's not just Megan though. I mean, Cardi B to me has surpassed her,
But that was part of the problem, because no matter what Nicki did, Cardi would always come out and surpass it, and they have their own tribes.
Yeah.
The Beehive.
Princess.
What's Nicki's?
The Barbs.
Yeah,
the Barbs. The Barbs. Yeah. Princess, what do you say to all this nonsense back and forth? Well, I mean, why can't, again, it's kind of like with the Cat Williams situation and the black comedians, why can't black female rap artists get it together? Like, why do they have to, there shouldn't even be this stupid feud. Why is it? What are your thoughts on it?
Colonialism. Everybody is trying to, fight for a little piece.
Mm-hmm.
Out there for all to have, but we're like, hey, don't take my share.
Right. I'm gonna hoard my little piece.
Just got it all.
Right.
But you know what I say about all that? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be
friends? Or friends. Have them. All right. On that note, I think it's time to go. It's been fun as always. Always a ton of laughs. Love my family. Thank you so much out there for joining us. We will be back. We do this every first Thursday of each month. And, we just get together, have some laughs and all the crazy antics going on in Hollywood, or Hollyweird, as some call it. K-Cee, you've been doing a lot of traveling. Can Function doing any shows? Howard Hewitt, anybody coming up?
Yes, actually, I'm leaving tomorrow, going to Atlanta for 2 days. I've got to play the City Winery with Howard Hewitt.
Hey.
And then next week, wifey and I, we're going to take the train down to New Orleans and be with Confunction. We got to play the Zulu Ball, which is a part of the so we're gonna,
fun!
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
I'll be wearing my contacts so I can be cute.
Yes. You gonna get your beads, Princess?
I can actually wear a Mardi Gras mask.
And there you go.
She's gonna get the beads. I'll be the one to raise it up.
I'm gonna say, bro, can let you get the beads.
Flash them, babe. Flash them.
Oh my goodness,
going wild.
Oh, right. I love it. I'll be like, wait a minute, there's Brown Princess on the float.
Hey, don't count us out. Don't count us out on nothing.
It's right.
Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, this has been fun. Love you all. And like I said, we'll be back next week. Have a great, wonderful rest of February, Black History Month. Celebrate.
Hey.
And be safe out there. See you next time.
Well, I get with